As I settled into my office, the ticking of the clock on the wall echoed in the empty corridors of the building. It was well past 9 in the evening, the hallways devoid of life, as I was the only one burning the midnight oil. I was the head of software development at a startup company. Late nights were more common than not, and tonight was no different. My task for the evening was updating the security algorithms of our new software before the morning presentation. I had brewed a pot of strong coffee, which sat on the corner of my desk, the steamy aroma wafting through the silent room. The sharp luminescence from my screen was the only light source in the office, casting eerie shadows in the corners of the room. After coding for what felt like hours, a sudden noise jolted me from my trance. A dull, metallic thud echoed down the hall, like a door being forced open. I pushed back from my desk, peering into the darkened hallway. I told myself it was probably the cleaning crew, but an instinctual shiver of unease prickled at the back of my neck. I decided to investigate, if only to ease my nerves. I grabbed my phone, using its dim light to guide me through the dark corridors. Each step creaked under the weight of my apprehension. My eyes darted from door to door, my heart pounding in sync with the rhythmic ticking of the wall clock. As I approached the main entrance, the cause of the noise was chillingly clear. The front door was ajar, a cold gust of wind rushing in, rustling loose papers around the reception desk. My blood ran cold. The entrance was always secured, the last one to leave was supposed to double-check. I dialed the security company's number, but before I could press the call button, my phone screen flickered and went dead. The battery was fully charged just moments ago. In the faint city light seeping through the open door, I saw a silhouette. A figure, tall and broad-shouldered, was standing just outside the entrance. The sight struck fear into my heart, a primal dread sinking into my bones. I ducked behind the reception desk, trying to steady my ragged breathing. I heard heavy boots crunching against the gravel as the intruder moved closer. The door creaked open wider and then clicked shut, indicating that the man had entered the building. His footsteps echoed ominously in the empty hallway, growing louder with each passing second. A new wave of terror washed over me as I realized my only chance of escape was through the back door, but to reach it, I had to pass the corridor the intruder was currently roaming. It felt like a sickening game of hide-and-seek, only the stakes were life and death. Mustering my courage, I decided to make a break for it. I crawled on my hands and knees, moving as silently as I could. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat deafening in the quiet of the night. Suddenly, my hand brushed against a piece of loose paper, sending it fluttering. I froze, my blood turning to ice as the footsteps paused. Then they resumed, but faster, more determined. They were heading towards me. With a jolt of adrenaline, I got up and sprinted down the hallway. The dim safety lights illuminated my path as I weaved around corners, my footsteps loud against the cold tile floor. I glanced back, seeing the figure gaining on me. His face was obscured by a dark hoodie, but I could see something glinting menacingly in his hand. A weapon. The sight fueled my fear, pushing me to run faster. Finally, the back door was in sight. I lunged for it, gripping the cold metal handle and throwing it open. A rush of cool air hit me as I stumbled outside, the door clanging shut behind me. I didn't stop running until I was a safe distance away, finally reaching a 24-hour diner that was still open. Panting heavily, I burst inside and dialed 911. The police arrived swiftly, but by then the intruder had disappeared. That night, the comforting hum of my office transformed into a sight of terror. I've learned since then that safety is an illusion easily shattered. The dark corners of the office building no longer held just shadows, but a chilling memory that would haunt my late nights forever.